Good morning, students. So we all are going through the chapter natural resources. Today I will explain you about the biogeochemical cycle. So our next topic is biogeochemical cycle. So all of you go through the definition first. It refers to the cyclic flow. It refers to the cyclic flow between non-living component that is soil, air and water and the living component. Which makes the biosphere, which makes the biosphere stable and dynamic. Students, you can see in this cycles, this is the cyclic flow of cyclic flow between the non-living components as well as the living components. That makes the biosphere stable and dynamic. Obviously, the transfer of matter and energy takes place in between these different components of the biosphere, between the non-living components and between the living components. There will be a cyclic flow, there will be a cycling of nutrients, and that will again get back to the obviously the cycling of nutrient will take place, the cycling of matter, the cycling of energy will take place, and it will again get back to the biosphere. So that is the biogeochemical cycle. So also you can see such cycle involves such cycle involves transfer of matter and energy between the different components of the biosphere. Between the different components of biosphere. So students, in this biogeochemical cycles topic, we will see the different cycle in this chapter. So first we will be starting up with the water cycle, and then we will go through the nitrogen cycle, then oxygen cycle, then carbon cycle. So today I will explain you about the water cycle. So water cycle is also called as hydrological cycle. First you write water cycle or hydrological cycle. So this water cycle, students, you are just reading it from your earlier classes. So water cycle is what the water from the different water reservoirs get evaporated in the form of water vapor, and after evaporation it will cool and it will condenses, it will forms clouds. After the precipitation as a form of rain, it will again fall down into the ground, and now this rainwater is utilized by the different living organisms. First, the plants absorb these water during the process of photosynthesis, or you can say the plants utilizes this water in the process of photosynthesis. So after that, the loss of water also takes place through the leaf surfaces of the plant, and that process is called as transpiration, or you can say the transpiration is the loss of water from the leaf surfaces. It is also a recycling, no? It is also the cycling process, that first the plants are absorbing the water, and now the excess of water get evaporated out of the plants. Excess of water can be evaporated out from the surfaces of the leaves in the form of transpiration, and it can get back to the atmosphere, or you can say the biosphere. as well as the living organism utilizes, or the terrestrial organism, aquatic organism, all utilizes this rainwater. So rainwater, some amount of rainwater seeps into the soil and forms groundwater. This will increases or enhances the level of groundwater. That is also utilizes by the different living organisms. Like this underground water can be used with the help of the dug wells or tube wells, and you can see some water get come out of the surfaces of the cell by of the soil. Some water comes out from the surfaces of the soil as springs. And you can see when the water during the process of water cycle, the water is flowing over the rocks containing the soluble minerals. As you know, rocks also contains the soluble minerals. Now this rainwater get mixed up with those soluble minerals. So or you can say these important or these essential or important minerals get dissolved in the water. Now the river carries many, so you can see the river carry many minerals from the land to the sea, obviously, because the from the rocks it get dissolved in the water, and from the when it is coming into the sea it will be utilized by marine animals. Okay, so now you can write it down. What is water cycle? The constant exchange the constant exchange of water between that is the constant exchange of water between soil, that is between the land and ocean, and the living organism. Obviously, it is the constant exchange, the whole process by which water evaporates and fall down. The whole process in which the water evaporates and falls on the land as rain, and falls on the land as rain. So this process is called as, and later this process is called as water vapor. And how the cycling is how the cycling is taking place? The constant of the constant exchange of water between the soil, between the land and the ocean and the living organism. That is a constant exchange of water by these living components of the biosphere. The whole process in which water evaporates and form on the land as rain and later flow back and and later flow back into sea via rivers, into sea via rivers, is called water cycle or hydrological cycle. After that, I explain you all the concepts, that water falls on the land, all the water that falls on the land do not immediately flow. These water will not immediately flow back into the sea. Into the sea, some of these seeps, some of these seeps into the soil. seeps into the soil and forms underground water and forms underground water, and few water comes up into the surfaces by springs, and some and some of some of seeps into the soil and forms the underground water. And you can see uh, some of them, some of these comes up to the surface, comes up to the surface. How the water comes off through the surfaces? Through the springs. So this is how the water is being utilized. So these water can be utilized as, by the tube wells, and you can say with the help of wells. And now the water, these waters are also utilized by the different terrestrial organisms. And the last point that I explained you, that water during water cycle flows through over the rocks. And here in the rocks, the rocks is containing the soluble minerals, containing rocks containing soluble minerals. So the rocks containing the soluble minerals, some of these minerals get dissolved in water. Okay. So now these rivers carry many nutrients from land to sea. So these carries many nutrients from land to sea, and these are hence, or you can say thus, these minerals are utilized by marine animals. Okay students, so today I have explained you about the biogeochemical cycle, and first we will see this water cycle and hydrological cycle. In the next class I will explain you about the nitrogen cycle. Thank you for today's class.